One of the philosophies in EOS is that for a very successful company to run, there is a visionary who's driving the vision, and then there's the integrator who says, okay, I see your idea, and now we're going to make it happen. And so I have called Goalgetters Collab the integrator for all these visionaries.
That's where my expansion and growth happens.
Yeah.
That choosing those hard things on purpose. It also differentiates me to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be anybody else, right? Each woman is differentiated by themselves. They, within themselves, have a spark.
That, I think, is the power of really stepping into what are my gifts that I can share for all of us to consider that and sharing that. And that is what allows us to support each other too, because we're stepping into ourselves, but building together.
Welcome to Reignite with Reet. We have another episode of this amazing podcast and this journey that we're on to empower women and share their stories of where they are in their life, how they got there, and most of them are entrepreneurs. But we have today with us Stephanie Bowles. She is the founder of Goalgetters Collab. Goalgetters Collab. Yeah, I always call it Goalgetters.
Yeah.
Goalgetters Collab, and it's an amazing organization / group. Mm-hmm. I'm calling it an organization. Membership. It's a massive impact on my life in such a short time that I've been part of it, and so many other women. So I'm going to welcome Stephanie here.
Thank you so much. That was sweet.
Yeah, it is. It's in real life changing women's lives by helping us get organized and facilitating women from all different groups and areas of life and helping us create our dreams. Yeah. Even if we didn't know how we were going to get here.
Yes.
So please tell me a little bit about yourself and just wherever you feel called, from as far back as you want to how it brought you here.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that. And I feel like throughout my journey, I've called myself so many different things: an educator, a teacher, a business coach, a guide. And so I think starting way back, I've always been a leader. Part of that stems from liking to take charge as the oldest child of three sisters. I'm the eldest. But really seeing such power and strength in community. Mm-hmm. And no matter where I've been, even at a very young age, I've loved bringing people together, or taking leadership roles and making things happen. And so I guess I would just say I'm a leader. And I have leaned more into that as I've evolved my career. And so I was an educator, as you know, and really I was drawn to education because I wanted to teach and let people know that they were capable of anything, no matter what background they came from. And so I joined Teach for America, which allowed me to serve in low-income areas just to enhance a teaching experience, I hope. I was a very young teacher, but that gave me so much of a wide lens in terms of what was possible and just a worldview. I grew up in Minnesota and I taught in New York City, so it was a huge jump to go into that. Mm-hmm. And after I taught for a while, I was like, I want to see more of what this education world is about. And I found myself in a project management role. And then with that company, I moved from New York to Chicago to Hawaii, which is what landed me here. And I've always really felt like I've been able to build these communities and take them with me wherever I went, and was always following this intuitive pull that I knew there was something next. I knew there was something more, and there was a path to get there. And so once I got to Hawaii, I was the only one here from my company. And I always started in Hawaii because now I've been here 14 years. But I was just lonely, and I was like, I need a community, and I need to find out the quickest way to get involved in one. And so I met a woman who was starting a public charter school, and she hired me as her first ever hire, and we built the school together with a team. And it was through that process that someone introduced us to this book called Traction, which is the book for EOS, which is the Entrepreneurial Operating System. Mm-hmm. And we were really drawn to it because we were at a place where we had grown the school, but we were ready for the next phase. Like, we had all these growth goals. We had probably 2 different strategic plans that were really ambitious, and we just needed a way to manage it all and manage the team. And EOS was the structure that simplified it in such an easy way. And with my project management background, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this anybody could do. And so we implemented it. I became very obsessed, for lack of a better word, I guess.
Yeah.
And passionate. That's the word. And once we got the school to a point of growth, I'm very much a starter, and I love starting things, but not maintaining. And so I built it where someone else could maintain it. And then I knew I wanted to bring that clarity to others. And so I was working with other organizations. And while I was off doing my own thing, building my own business, I joined the Oak and Pine Society, which is another membership group here. And I was meeting all these women, incredible women like you, who, although not at that time, we hadn't met yet, who were incredible visionaries, had these ideas of what they wanted to build, but really more from a sense of like leaning into their own personal passions of what could be, like what they could contribute to the world. And so I would just have one-on-one conversations, and it would always be like, this dream big painted picture, but not really knowing where to start or what steps to take. And I was like, well, I have a process that can help you get there. And so I just started leading workshops, and it just really spoke to people, I think. And that allowed me to merge my teaching, like my love of teaching and educating and simplifying information. And so after a few years, that turned into Goalgetters Collab, which is where we are now. And I think I really think deeply about, I'm not just providing planning and guidance, but really this space for us to give ourselves the flexibility to say, like, what do I want? And let me try that out. And if it doesn't work, okay, let me go back to this drawing board, but in a structured way so I don't feel too all over the place to figure out the next path.
Oh, yeah. I believe you're providing community.
Yeah.
Because we all lean on each other.
Yeah.
That's been my short time of experience. That's why I also joined, because I need that accountability. I also need the inspiration. And there's something about women coming together.
Yes.
Right? There's a magic that happens. Naturally, like, we see one woman succeeding, and we're like, oh my gosh, you start believing in yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Like, I can do that.
I can do that. Like, or at least I got to try.
Yes. Yep.
I got to try, and doesn't matter if you have to pivot, but you got to try.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. How long has Goalgetters been Goalgetters?
Goalgetters has been Goalgetters, or the collab, as people call it too. We just celebrated a year, so it's been almost a year and a half. Although I did have 2 iterations of this before, because as I mentioned, after I did those workshops, I got a handful of my friends, that there were 4 of us. I was like, I have this idea for taking you guys through a year-long journey. Like, will you just do this with me? And so that was me testing out certain structures and how I was teaching it, because a lot of people in Goalgetters have never had any experience building a business or building an organization or even project management that we were talking about. Yeah. And so I wanted to make sure I was able to communicate it in a way that was relatable. And so that first round was, I think I called it the core. It was like the core foundation of what you need in building your business. And then the second year was a little more refined, and I partnered with somebody else to bring in some other aspects. And then the third year really took off.
But that's it, right? You're birthing a different side of you and evolving, evolution. And you didn't let it die down. You kept saying, okay, pivot.
Yes.
Test mode, pivot,
Yes.
test mode. And now this is like, it's taken off. Like, I know I want all my friends to come join. Well, if you have an idea or some sort of dream, join a group.
Yes.
Join a group that's going to inspire you, help you with clarity and accountability for me, right? Because when you're sitting by yourself with an idea over here, without any action or a plan. It just feels overwhelming and unattainable.
Yes. And I think action is the key one, because I also really believe in my own coaching. So I've been part of so many different coaching programs, or like exploring my own vision. And I feel like the missing piece has always been like, we get to a point of super clarity.
Yeah.
And maybe we identify what the long-term goal is, but it's not like, okay, today, what am I doing today to get there in these very sizable chunks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's, like you said, action and accountability to yourself.
Yes.
Right? I can come, and I've had meetings with you. You've come up with a great plan, and there was a moment where I felt so overwhelmed. And this is a pivotal moment. I think I will always remember it, and I will remember you by it. Where you gave me permission, literally just to say, hey, why don't you take the first quarter and be exploratory? Why don't you explore? I was like, I can do that.
Yes, I remember that too.
I will never forget it, because I'm going to use that forever.
Yeah.
Whenever there's something new or I'm uncertain about, it took the pressure off, and it gave me being like, oh, okay, this quarter I'm just going to observe. I'm going to watch what is happening, and how the other women that really inspired me, it feels like they're so far ahead, even though I'm not on their race or journey, but my brain was telling me like, how are you going to get there?
Yeah.
And I had to come into the present moment and be like, okay, what if you just explored and observed and took down a few notes every time some little gift or little spark came?
Yeah.
And then I booked my one-on-one with you second quarter right away, because I said, okay, I know what I want. I want to do a podcast and the coaching, and that's all coming, and it's evolving through this faster than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
So, like, I want women to take away from this podcast how it doesn't have to be years, because I'm watching in real time, in space, women doing extraordinary things, and it's within a year their life is 360.
Yes.
They've left careers. We know many now, and you know, a good friend of ours, Reed, she has totally left a thriving business, uncertain, and then now she has the Reed show.
And built another thriving business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what you're describing is the true definition of slow down to speed up.
Yeah.
And like you said, it can be different timelines for everybody, but to me, what I think that slowing down does, and I've experienced this too, my slowdown was years.
Yeah.
But that's because I was still doing and exploring, but you can feel when you're in that phase. You can feel when you're in that observer phase and you're just soaking it all in. But really that allows for the clarity to come. And then once you have the clarity, that's the propeller. That's when everything just starts to happen.
Yeah. That slowdown doesn't have to be like there's nothing happening. There's a lot happening.
It doesn't have to be stop.
No, it doesn't have to be stopped, but there's stuff happening. What's happening is your vision is happening in your head. So I can, sharing my opinion and my thoughts, is I had a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
I had so much, it felt overwhelmed that you want to kind of give up. But once I slowed down, I started to be like, okay, here's a pot, and here's a pot. I'll put this idea here, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, right? Like you break it down.
Yeah.
That's part of the gift that you give us and teach us. Like, break it down and share like a little bit of the Goalgetters Collab behind the scenes, if you feel comfortable.
Yeah, of course.
Like, what's your method a little bit? I know it's EOS, but what does that mean to someone that haven't read the book or doesn't know what collab is?
Yeah. So I mentioned EOS, and I always tell people this program is heavily inspired by that, but not necessarily the same. But what I mean by that is one of the philosophies in EOS is that for a very successful company to run, there is a visionary who's driving the vision, always has the big ideas, is like, just make sure we are focused on those things. And then there's the integrator who says, okay, I see your idea, and now we're going to make it happen. And we're going to manage ourselves and the team, and we're going to drive it until it's done. Because those two roles are often very different personality types. And a lot of entrepreneurs are the visionary, and which is why great businesses are created. Like, they have a vision and they make it happen. And so I have called Goalgetters Collab the integrator for all these visionaries who don't have a team or maybe can't yet afford to hire somebody to do it with them. And so the group is the foundational rhythm that we need to keep that momentum towards the vision and the accountability, as you mentioned. And so the way that I see that happening, and I also, outside of Goalgetters, I'm a fractional integrator, that same role, for larger companies. So I help them build up that seat so that they feel that push to get to where they want to be. And so even working with really large companies and people just starting, the foundational component is this: let's figure out where we're headed long term, and then we're going to break it down every 90 days, and we're going to check in once a month where we're at on that 90-day plan. We're going to set up the habits so that we can stay consistent to how we're checking back in with ourselves, and then we have each other to check in with too. And so that's generally what Goalgetters is. It's our annual planning. We do 90-day quarterly planning, monthly planning, and then we celebrate together. We have quarterly celebrations, and that's a huge component too. Just acknowledging what we've accomplished can also create so much momentum.
I think, that last piece, the celebration, has been something new for me because like many entrepreneurs or business visionaries, we want next.
Yeah.
We have the next big idea. We got to go bigger. I have to prove something to myself. And you don't stop to enjoy where you're at. Wow, what the last 90 days, how empowering and powerful they were. And I think with Goalgetters, we got to celebrate our first quarter. And when I showed up, it was just like, you're a little nervous because you're like, what am I celebrating? You know, I haven't seen anything completely fruition. But then I saw there's a lot of women in all different phases. There's no competition. They're on their own journey. And like, that's what you're celebrating.
Yes.
The journey. And like, I think Goalgetter also, I want to say Goalgetter, the collab.
You can say whatever you want.
It solidifies that to no matter how big your goal is, you can go after it. Just enjoy all the pieces that come. Bring it together.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I'm really enjoying is it's not about how big I get or where this is going. I don't have that clarity yet. But being proud of yourself that you got up and you took some steps.
Yeah.
And you made it happen.
Yep.
And then the women that come and cheer for you in this community and show up, like, wow, like I'm amazed.
Yeah.
And these are all new women that I had not, maybe I had met them once or twice at a different event, but women that are like, can I do this for you? What do you need help with? Hey, Reet, are you overwhelmed? Oh, wow. Or just like a cheering squad. Cheering you on.
Yes.
It's like whatever you need, you get.
Yep. And yeah, I think like attracts like, so I just think the more of that energy we get in there, the more it will just like continue to grow and build. But I do think part of that too is like seeing how willing am I to step up for myself, and I being like any of the members, because I think when we see each other really honoring our own selves, that gives that authenticity of saying, yeah, let me support you in that. Like, we're all wanting to show up in our truest forms. And so we have the space to do that and support each other in lifting them up.
And something I want women to recognize is when I joined, I didn't have a business.
Yeah, that's right.
Most of the women that were in Goalgetters were entrepreneurs. So it was really intimidating because I had an idea, a bunch of ideas, but I didn't have a business. And through sitting down, you're like, where do you think like businesses grow from ideas?
Yes.
And then action steps.
Yep.
So like now this has become a business. a podcast and launching and what's growing out of it is, again, comes back to the action part. Just show up for yourself.
Yes. So good.
So good. Like, I get so excited with your energy, and you just have a light in your eyes about what you do.
Aww.
And what you bring women. And I want to make sure we highlight and honor that and encourage women to join, whether it's a collab or you're somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Find the women's group that are doing stuff, making things happen. And it's generally like what I saw from outside looking in before I joined was like there was laughter. There was so much there was like a little shine that I wanted to be, that drew me. Like, it's like a flame.
Yeah.
It drew me in. Like, I was like, well, I want to be part of this. What can I build?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it does get that way sometimes too. I know there's another member, Sam.
Yeah.
Who also, I mean, I won't say she built a business just to build a business, but like she was part of it first with another business. And I think just through conversation and through her exploration, she built a second one while in Goalgetters because she just like had more of that confidence to be able to do it.
Completely. And there are no limits.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to have more conversation as women that, oh, well, you built one business, that you can't go after your other, like, inspiration and something else that's been weighing you down, you know, whether it's write a book or create a program or open up whatever store. Yeah. There's so many, like, options are endless.
Yes. And I think part of that is also asking ourselves, what do I have the bandwidth for right now? And giving the space to say, okay, that gets parked in my 3-year, or that takes precedence in the next 90 days. Having the structure allows you to put those big ideas somewhere so that you know when you're ready for them, or you know when you can go to them when it's the right time.
Yeah. Do you have hard conversations with some of us that, you know, where you're our leader in a way, like you facilitate and help us integrate ideas? Do you have to have some hard conversations and be like, hey, is it realistic? Or I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I kind of followed a few different approaches based on the members, but a lot of times, especially when somebody comes in with so many ideas, and, you know, we set goals every 90 days, and ideally you don't have more than 5, but even 5's a lot. 1 to 3 is the sweet spot, and some I have had want to take 7. And so it's a conversation of...
I was also one of those. I'm going to be full transparency. I came out, like, I think I had way more than that. And you're just like, okay, let's just reel it in.
Yeah, so part of it's a conversation of like, okay, do you really have bandwidth for that? Let's map this out. And if it still looks realistic, go for it. And part of that go for it is then you getting to experience, okay, I do have all these priorities. Am I able to manage them all? And if not, okay, now I've learned for the next round, maybe I need to pare it down to 3 or whatever it is. Yeah. So those are conversations that I have a lot, but I think it's valuable to just try it the first time so that the person can decide what their sweet spot number is. I've also had some conversations with members, and these are ones who have been in my other programs, so they've been with me for a few years, where they're just so overwhelmed by everything else in life. And so unfortunately their business takes a back seat, but we decide, okay, let's just pick one thing. If you could pick one thing you want to get done this year, what is that one thing? And so then it's, you know, it's just having space and walking through what is important and what do I want to give my energy to. So those are some of the big questions. And then, of course, Mapuana gave this example to the public already, so I know I can say it. But we were planning out her big event, and I was her integrator for her event, essentially. And so we would meet regularly, and as we get closer, you know, week to week to the event, she kept saying, oh, I just need to add a few more minutes here, or I need to add a few more minutes here. And at some point I'm like, okay, no more ideas. We can't, because otherwise this won't function. And I think you have to act that way with your goals too. Like when you know you have a deadline towards something, at some point you have to say, okay, I'm doing this one thing. I can't put energy elsewhere. Otherwise, this one thing is not going to be the same quality that I want it to be.
Yeah. That's important, right? If you want to put out a quality product or quality service, you can't be drained.
Yes.
You can't be empty yourself, because come time to deliver, it's not sustainable, right?
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's so good. That is good. I like how you broke it down to, like, there's not enough minutes, right?
Yeah.
I don't always think in minutes.
Right.
We don't. I love that. I'm going to remind myself, because I think one of those people, the big idea, big vision, but we have so many minutes in a day, in an hour.
Yeah.
And if your event or whatever product you're offering, there's so many minutes, and you want to cram everything, but is it worth cramming 50 things if the quality is not going to land?
No, it's not.
No? No, pick 3. pick 1 to 7.
Pick,
Like 7.
Yeah. And I think, too, that's where, we touch on some other things outside of planning in Goalgetters, but like time blocking, actually seeing where you're spending your time and how you're spending your time is how you do that in daily life, not just an event.
Oh, that's accountability. You really learn how you're scrolling, how you've overcommitted and you're trying to do, like, cram so much in this one time. I've recognized a lot of that.
Yeah.
And I've had to put in, like, processes where I'm like, 1 event per day. 2 max if it's family related and you have to divide and conquer, because it's not a quality of life.
Right.
It's not a quality of enjoyment. And the same goes for all of your life, whether it's your business, your relationships. Like, less is more sometimes.
Yep.
You know?
Yes.
So tell me, what do you see more? What's the future for the collab?
The collab. I want it to be huge. I want it to be present in every state, every country. I really, really believe that this method, and I know that others teach it, but this community of accountability with structure in making your vision whole is something every entrepreneur could use, especially those in either in the beginning stages or who have, like, jumped into business and now are like, oh, what am I doing? I better figure this out. It's always going to be helpful. And I really encourage members to join for at least a year, because, like you, the first phase might be really exploratory, whatever that means. Like, you're testing out a new product, or you're trying out some new goals, or you just want to observe. And then it really does take a few cycles of this type of goal setting to get the hang of it. And because we build our 3-year vision, and so ideally you can get to your 3-year vision after 3 years in the Goalgetters Collab. And so I really do see this as a shared model for so many of us. Yeah. And who doesn't want more empowerment in the world? And all of us showing up, to give our gifts and share our gifts. I want that for everyone, because that's why I started my own business. I felt like I wasn't living to my fullest potential in the role that I was in my other career.
And we all get to that.
Yeah.
We all get to, we've done something and we feel like, okay, like, you wake up not even with any joy in your life after a while, if you're not doing what you love.
Or drained.
Yeah. Your energy is just being leaked. And I do agree with you. I feel, from my experience, I think it's really essential to join for a year. In the first quarter, I went through such emotions. I went through such, like, the first quarter, really, again, speaking from my experience, but even as an entrepreneur coming in, you're going to go through doubt. Why am I here? I don't fit in. Imposter syndrome. You're going to go through, like, it's more going to be you doing the emotional and the work. Like, that was my experience. I'm like, okay, this is some work that I have to face. If I'm going to get to point B, where actually I deliver on the product or the service, I can't be feeling unworthy or feeling like I don't belong here, it brings up stuff that you need to address.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do the big thing that you want to do, you have to kind of birth a new person.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you can't go in half-ass on your goals.
Right.
Because you got to believe in yourself so much and say, okay, like I'm going in.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy whatever it takes. And sometimes it's starting off where you can.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I started off with the equipment I had. I started off saying, okay, I'll just use my iPhone because that's the first step. That's taking action.
Yes.
You know, I had to get out of my own way of the how.
Mm-hmm.
I had to constantly question question my brain and saying, stop being scared of the how.
Mm-hmm.
Do the now. Like, do the first step that you can now. Okay. Record your first episode with an iPhone.
Yeah. It
Get a
doesn't have to
couple
be
of likes.
perfect.
And the more you start rolling and you start talking to people and they're like, oh my gosh, like you already chose the hard way doing it on video. I was like, oh yeah, that's me.
True. Yeah, true.
Like I tend to just, I think that's where my expansion and growth happens.
Yeah.
That choosing those hard things on purpose. It also differentiates me to be me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be anybody else, right? Like I think that's what's special about the collab.
Mm-hmm.
Each woman is differentiated by themselves. They within themselves have a spark.
Yes.
Even if some of us do the similar things, I am not doing the same podcast as our other friends or other people. There's thousands, millions of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other REIT. And that's when I wrapped my head around that my voice would land to the person that it needed to land on and let go of the how and the control.
Yeah.
It really, people show up and say, I would love to help you. I would love to be on your podcast.
Yeah. I remember going through very similar mindset shift in my early days.
Yeah.
And I actually wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to get into coaching. So I started as this professional organizer. And during that time, I was kind of thinking, do I also want to do coaching? But it didn't feel like life coaching was quite where I wanted to be. And so as I veered into business coach, I remember I had another coach who had the same mindset and was just like, the way you coach, me, Stephanie, coaches is going to be different than REIT coaches. And the person that is attracted to you or me is going to choose us for different reasons. And so I'm just fully in support of that. Like, even if every single one of us were doing a podcast, we're all going to have different listeners, maybe with some overlap, but that I think is the power of really stepping into what are my gifts that I can share for all of us to consider that and sharing that. And that is what allows us to support each other too, because we're stepping into ourselves, but building together.
Yeah. And the best building happens in community.
Yeah.
You know, I look at all the greatest entrepreneurs out there. They didn't do that alone. They had an idea and then they delegated. And as I'm learning, as this speeds up and momentum picks up, it's really important to do what you're good at and then challenge yourselves to do some things that are uncomfortable, but quickly navigate and delegate what is going to weigh you down and that's going to take the joy out of it for you.
Yes.
Very quickly this was also advice I got from a coach because I believe in having mentors and coaches in different parts of our life to get you to where you want to go and like share their wisdom because they've already done it.
Yeah.
I think I'm a big believer in hire who you need to hire and you draw the person that you need to hire into your life because we met at a retreat.
Yes.
We met we were attending a retreat and we were just there to, just to fill into our cups.
Yeah.
And at that time you were just kind of testing out the collab. You were about to launch it and it didn't feel, I was called. That timing wasn't aligned. A year later, I knew. Throughout that year, I was like, the next time, I'm joining. The next round of people, and when there's an opportunity, and I joined.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to surround yourself with people that are doing what you want to do, even if it challenges you. Right? Because it's going to spark that we all have, that spark inside of us to create something, to birth something, and to bring it to life.
Yeah. Well, and we have to tell them, because I was comforted by you that day. I don't know if you remember, but we were going on a walk around this beautiful property, and my shoe broke or something, and I totally fell.
Yeah, I do remember.
And you held my hand the whole way back to the room where we were all going to, and it was just so sweet.
I was thinking of that today. I was like, how? Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure Stephanie fell that day.
Yes.
And we kind of got ahead of the group and just started chatting about life and where we were, why we were there, and had a moment.
Yes.
And that just something just resonated with me. I'm like, I like this woman. Just even as a friend, I was like, oh, there's something real about this woman. And it's funny when you are really open, you recognize that those are seeds. Mm-hmm. I look at those as seeds of relationships or friendships or future collaborations or something.
Yeah.
You don't always know the how or when, but when you're constantly open, you're actually that's your intention. What I try to put out there, being like, okay, I'm going to go into this new event. I don't know anybody there, or I don't know what's going to come out of this, but I'm going to show up as myself.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, beautiful things happen, and it's continuously happening with women. When we don't look at the other person as a competition, because that's what we were kind of programmed to believe, that, oh, if she got it, you can't. There's not enough.
Yeah.
No, let's change the conversation of there's unlimited amount of abundance.
Yes.
9 billion people in the world. I'm sure I can help a handful at
Right.
least. I more than a handful. I'm confident that are going to be drawn to this conversation, this episode, because of our energy coming together and really wanting to intentionally inspire women to go after their dreams.
Yeah.
Set goals. Join groups that inspire you. Hold space and aren't going to judge you, but hold you accountable and say, yes, you can.
Yes.
Right? That's I want more conversations and then take action after. Because that's been my experience. And when I changed the rooms that I'm in from constantly talking about our problems and negativity, and I changed that, I want to be in... What are these women doing differently that they're glowing differently? What are they doing differently that they're going after their big goals? And the little one, take care of them. Even if your little goals, big goals, they're all your bucket
they all
list.
add up.
I had the most amazing conversation this morning. I was on the beach with a 75-year-old woman I had just met. And she's like, yeah, I'm checking off stuff off my bucket list now. I raised 5 boys, and I just came back from Santa Clara Island, or some island she went to. And I was like, oh, amazing. And she's like, yeah, I'm 75, but I got a lot of life to live. But we don't know how much life we have. So let's keep going.
Yeah.
Right? What do you do? I want to pivot a little bit to when you have challenges, because we all do. You feel like you hold a lot of space for a lot of women. What do you do to fill your cup?
It's a great question. I do think part of my answer to that is that it's an always evolving process. Like a lot of times what filled my cup a year ago is not what I need today.
Yep.
And I think right now in my life, I've had a lot of changes in my life this year.
Yeah.
I just moved to a new house, which I am learning. I've always loved to move, but I am learning this time for some reason how it feels a little bit traumatic. Like I'm redoing absolutely everything. And so right now it's a daily question of what do I need today? And one of my mentors and leaders, she developed this framework, and it's 3 for me. And at the start of every day, you say, what do I have going on today? And maybe it's a meeting, or maybe it's an event you're nervous about, or maybe it's just a day full of meetings, whatever it is. What are 3 things I need to do to nourish myself today? And it might be stay hydrated. It might be I want to make sure I get out for a walk. It might be I am going to treat myself to lunch somewhere, but that right now, the daily check-in to say, what do I need today, is how I make sure that I am still showing up authentically and with the energy I want to have for all my goal getters and all my clients and my husband and, you know, everyone in my life. So that's my current
I love that.
keeping energy.
3 for me. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love that. Yeah. Because it's easy to go down a path of giving, giving, giving. And I think as women, we're not always great and bred to receive.
Mm-hmm.
It's something
So
I'm sitting
true.
with myself lately
Mm-hmm.
too. Allowing myself to receive help.
Yeah.
Through this process of so many navigation of changes. And I think it's a common theme lately in the last year or two of a lot of women like almost putting a death to one side of themselves to birth the new. Like you have to, I'm a firm believer, in order to create space, you have to literally either eliminate things out of your life that are no longer serving you. And that doesn't have to be because it's anger or mad, or you just either grow apart from different relationships or a career or just material stuff weighing you down and you need to declutter. And that's happening a lot right now. So us women can create what we want.
Yes.
Right? And giving ourselves permission to change our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we started with, the vision, is going to be very different depending on where you are in the process.
Yes.
Because I've chatted and conversed with women that say, oh, this was supposed to be idea A of a business. But now I'm like, the 5th iteration of it is completely different, but I love it.
Yes.
And I can truly say that it's the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're shooting on a Saturday, and I was like, oh, interesting. It's my first episode shooting on a Saturday. I'm like, and I'm learning, and I'm like, you know, we create space, and there was parties and before and after events, and I was like, okay, I will navigate this a little differently in the future, because when I first started, I made myself fully available.
Mm-hmm.
You're so excited.
I've so been there.
And you're so excited, and you're just like, okay. A weekend, you're like, okay, I'm going to block off this little bit of time. And after today, it was a learning, and it's okay to be honest in these conversations.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, after today, I'm going to keep my weekends for family time.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter said that. She's like, yeah, Mom, you got to be important to have family time. I'm like, yeah. I get my best words of wisdom from my daughter. Like on my first episode, I was like, what do you do when you're nervous? Because she skateboards and you're about to drop in. She's like, Mom, lean in.
Ooh, that's
I was
powerful.
like, I know. She's like, Mom, if you lean back, you'd fall. You got to lean in, lean forward.
That is so good. You need to have her on the podcast.
Oh, she's going to be. She's going to be, because she is. I mean, kids are interesting characters, and you don't know what you don't know until they come into your life and they push every last button.
Yes.
They push the buttons that are just the most painful,
Yes.
and you're constantly having to forgive yourself, forgive them, and it's real life.
Yeah.
And it's like your baby too. It's like, I meant like your business is your baby
Yes.
too, right? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have so many versions of yourself. You're gonna have to be really kind to yourself and allow it to morph and develop.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have an idea, you're gonna have to let the nails out of like, it has to go this way. It's my vision. You slowly have to soften, let go of control, and kind of lean in.
Yes. Well, and that's what I wanted to reiterate from what you said too. I think part of the, you know, when we're honoring ourselves or making sure we're nourishing our own selves as we're giving so much to others, that acceptance piece is so huge. I think especially for ourselves, in saying like, okay, this didn't go how I planned, but I'm going to try again, or I'm going to try this way, or what else did that open up for me when it didn't go that way? And even with relationships, like knowing that the synergy between you and another person might be forever, or it might be for that specific amount of time. And if it doesn't, it's okay. It's just this always open acceptance really helps us navigate in the different avenues that life will take us or business will take us. And I think too, that's why I love these 90-day planning cycles, because it allows us to say, okay, I said this is what I wanted. Is that still what I want? And we're constantly resetting based on what has happened in that period of time.
Yeah. It's about evolution, right? We're here to evolve, and it's okay to change your mind. And if something's not working, the quicker you can change it, it's the bounce back, right? You pivot, and some of us have suffered a lot longer than we need to, right? And that's from experience. And when you learn the lesson and stop resisting or fighting, and just be like, okay, I hear you.
Yes,
I hear ya.
totally.
And it gets a little bit easier, and it's amazing how quickly it works itself out. When you stop fighting yourself.
Yes.
Saying, well, this is exactly how it has to be. No, it doesn't have to exactly be like this. There's 10 different ways it can be and work out beautifully.
Which is also the power of community, because you can see how things can be done so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. What's the legacy you want to leave behind for Goalgetters?
Whew. So many things, but I think it's like I really live my life by, the saying, people remember how they made you feel, not what they said. Yeah. Remind me of whatever that quote is. But I really believe that creating this feeling of acceptance, like back to acceptance and just general support, raises the vibration of everyone, of the planet, of ourselves. It allows us to show up better in our own relationships with family, with our loved ones. And so I just want to build more of that. And I want to build more spaces that allow for true, genuine connection and support of each other. And to just be remembered that it was an inviting space for anyone who was ready to enter it.
And if you could give one piece of advice to a woman starting out, or it could be two pieces of advice. Sometimes one it can be, and it can feel like a lot, but like a few tidbits you want to kind of.
Yeah, I think if you are just starting out, my biggest piece of advice is to take yourself seriously. Like the visions or ideas or that like inkling, whatever is coming to you is meant for you. And look at that. Just explore what that is. Take it seriously. A lot of times when, at least I, like my sister, hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she's a mom of 3. She loves being a mom, and she's also exploring like what else she might want to do. And she has incredible ideas, and she is such an amazing person, but she kind of just treats them as like, oh yeah, well, I don't know if I could ever do that. But it's like, no, really, let's just explore what that looks like if that were to happen. And so biggest piece of advice is to take yourself seriously.
Love that. Yeah, it starts with yourself.
Yes.
Do you find any challenges being a woman in a leadership role? Not any. I know they are. Being in this leadership role, do you feel any kind of friction, or like what's been your experience?
I think for me, it's very internal, and I don't know if this is just me and who I am, or if it's me being a woman, but I feel like my biggest struggle has been confidence, and that, not confidence in like, in what I'm doing and how I show up, but I feel like so much of the business world is led by men or is male dominated. And so trusting that my voice is still like part of that bigger whole, that like that kind of confidence, that conversation. And just, so I think I say it's like internally, because a lot of times that's what will hold me back from my own growth.
I think a lot of women relate to that. I relate to that. In a world where we are constantly having to prove ourselves. even though we may have the education, the skills, and the experience, the resume, mother, comeback, bounce back culture, yet there's that voice that tries to limit us. And what do you do? What do you do with that voice?
Well, I do think, as we're talking too, I think the other piece of that is the perfectionism part, which we touched on.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it is me telling, oh, well, you did all those things, but that's still not good enough. And so countering that is celebrating what we do accomplish. And I think also for me in building Goalgetters especially, it's been really taking seriously the feedback I get. This topic of seriousness comes up a lot, I suppose. But the feedback I get from others. Because, it's so easy for someone to compliment us and say, oh, that was so great. I loved that session. Or what you said really resonated with me. Like even you at the beginning today, when you were saying how it's been so impactful for you to not just shove that away, but to really like let that be information, especially if you're someone like me who like is constantly having to feel like I need to prove myself to myself, like letting that information seep in.
Open to receiving.
Being open to receiving. Yeah, that is definitely how I counter it. And, like having a Google Doc where I save all my testimonials or like quick texts or emails that I get from people and looking at it and just reminding myself of what I am building.
And the lives are changing.
Yeah.
Right? And that brings me to like success. Success, it's a big word because what does success mean to you?
Whew. I think success is, for me, it's really staying true to yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I know I'm successful. If I still feel so in alignment with the work that I'm doing, I am successful.
And like complete alignment, right? Like you can go to bed at the end of the day and I did my best. And I also believe it's not shying away. Monetary success comes with being in alignment. Right? As women, we want to shy away from saying, I want to be successful in all areas of my life. Relationships, financially independent, in providing service to others.
Yep.
And also receiving and growth and change. And let's really celebrate that. Right? Because success is not like, I think I grew up with the idea of success as just monetary. And
Totally.
that's limiting because you can get all the money in the world and there's people that are just devastated and they don't have a quality of life and they don't love themselves. I love your answer, just being aligned and loving what you do every day.
And that comes to mind because I feel like, I'm sure you too, like on your journey, we're constantly uncovering different phases of ourselves or trying different modalities to get like closer to our source. And I really feel over the last few years, like there is no part of me that feels like I want to be doing something else.
Yeah.
And how lucky am I, like, just to be able to be in this place.
Yeah.
It feels aligned.
So aligned. And it's okay. Like, that's beautiful. Right? I want to celebrate that for you. Like,
Okay.
Like, because having women surrounding yourself with women that light up and saying, I'm loving what I do and I want to be nowhere else where I am.
Yeah.
And keep growing that.
Yeah.
And I want to celebrate that. Yes, you're also allowed to say, I want to keep growing there.
Yes.
And have the financial success that comes with it and enjoy that too.
Yep.
Right? Because we do have to call for all the things that we want. Because it allows us to serve at a different level. And being responsible with that is important too, right?
Yes.
Like, it comes with responsibility. Big success in all the areas comes with a level of responsibility and accountability. So let's not shy away from saying, being wealthy, that's another word, wealthy and success to me are, wealth is not just money.
Right.
To me, I want time with my family. I want the experiences. I want that experience of this loving and appreciating myself deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And uncovering new parts of me that felt really scary and scared, and then doing the thing.
Yeah.
And anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And doing all the things that I would tell my daughter to do, but practicing them.
Yeah.
Not just preaching, practicing them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
This is good.
Yeah, you know why? Because I remember when we first did my journey with Goalgetters, I had all these lists. And it's becoming very clear, it's not good or bad. Top of my list was real estate.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Yeah. I knew you would. That I had to get my license. I had this whole plan. I failed the exam twice. And I've never learned so much from those lessons.
Mm-hmm.
About why am I failing these exams? Maybe because they're not in alignment with what I'm really wanting to do. And I need to do that inner work saying, do the damn thing. Do what you really want to do, even if you feel like you don't know how, you won't be good at it. Just take the first step.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm so fulfilled in sharing this space. And every woman that sits beside me and we talk, it's real, it's authentic. And I feel lit up that I get to share and highlight you.
Oh, I feel the same.
Do. Like, yeah.
And I get to be here.
Yeah, and every woman that says yes, I still get butterflies. Like, and I don't ever want that to go away, because it's pretty sacred space to sit here and allow for somebody to feel comfortable and share with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a privilege, but it's a responsibility I take seriously, because I want you to share. Yeah, I may poke and prod you to kind of open up a little bit more, but I want the safe space for you to do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, you're doing that.
Thank you. We're doing that. We are doing that. Thank you, Steph. Oh, I'm so honored for you to be here. And I want to, kind of finish off with, if there's a couple of books that you would recommend, if maybe somebody can't afford a membership.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody to be left out, any woman.
Yeah.
There's a starting point. I've been there. I've had, very little money in the bank and just food and the necessities was enough, or you're a new mom.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever area or season of life you're in, don't let it stop you from going after it. If there's some, words of wisdom, some couple of books you can recommend, where can the women that meet them where they're at?
Yes. Well, I definitely think, based on what we touched on today too, the very first book that comes to mind is called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Have you read it?
No, but I'm going to.
It's all centered around, so if you are in a place where you are still a little bit unclear of what your next step is, whether you're just starting or somewhere else down the line, Big Magic is all about meeting an idea that comes to you and deciding to take it. And so that just goes along with like the inspiration that comes to us, taking your ideas seriously. So that is definitely a great place to start, to just give you a different perspective of what it means when you have all these thoughts that are happening. Mm-hmm. I read that one very early on in my journey.
Big Magic.
And then the other one that would come to mind is Traction, which is the EOS book. Mm-hmm. So it's really written, in my opinion, towards larger companies, but I think any business can just at least get a sense of what a well-functioning business really looks like, because that's what we're aspiring to grow to, and there will be pieces of that you can take from it.
Mm-hmm. And EOS is Entrepreneur Operating Systems.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I just want to make sure. System.
One system.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to start with one system.
Yes.
Because otherwise it gets
stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Steph. And yes. I can't wait to get this out to women and share your journey and share the inspiration. And if another woman wants to and can and has the ability to join, where does she find you? How does she join Goalgetters?
Yes, I would love to have anyone join. And I will say too, we talk a lot about women, it is predominantly. Mm-hmm. Men are also welcome to join.
It's inclusive, yes.
It is all inclusive. We open enrollment quarterly, mm-hmm. so that you can join us every 90 days for our planning. And if you go to goalgetterscollab.com, you will find all the info you need and can sign up. I am open for chats anytime if anyone wants to talk about if it's the right fit.
Amazing. So it'll be all in the show notes. We'll write all the website down there and you can join. Come, join us. We got some fun events, celebrations, and plan your next steps.
Yes. Thank you.